r/AskReddit. Non-Americans who have been to the US. What is the weirdest thing about America that Americans don't realize is weird? Some European told me that it's crazy how restaurants are loud and busy and how people eat quick and leave. For him it was normal to sit around and talk for an hour or more after eating in a restaurant. Wait, Americans seriously don't stay after finishing their meal? I mean, in France, you eat before the meal. It's called the apéro. Sit with your drink, eat your meal, talk, get your dessert, and then usually you order a coffee and smoke a cigarette. If you were eating outside and maybe when it's over you can ask for the check. But also maybe restaurants are more comfortable over this side of the ocean. Servers rely very heavily on tips. The more tables they see a night, the more money they make. Hawaiian here, but I never noticed that we didn't have billboards until I moved out of Hawaii. Turns out they are illegal, so that's weird. It's awesome, cause I get unobstructed views, but still weird. They are also illegal here in Alaska. When I moved to Florida for a while last year I realized how much I liked not having them everywhere. Us, Vermont and Hawaii are the only ones with the ban on billboards. I never appreciated it till I visited relatives in the lower 48, and it's fugly billboards as far as the eye can see. I'd rather look at miles of boring cornfield instead of ads, lol. In Germany, how are you? Is an actual question and you generally only ask it if you know the other person. It was super hard to explain to my mum that the answer is always fine, thank you, and that cashiers don't really care about how you actually feel. When we visited the US in 08. It's so strange. Even when you are with a close friend and the conversation is going to be about how you are in fact not fine, it starts as how are you? Fine, thanks. Fun fact. Most languages have some sort of phrase that's mostly used as a greeting. For the US, what's up, how are you, etc. aren't expected to be truthfully answered unless you ask it a second time. In Korea, they often ask if you've eaten. So they'll have conversations like this. 1. Hello. Have you eaten? 2. Yes. And you? 1. Yes. Would you like to get lunch? Like, it's just funny when you think about it, but it's just a greeting. That there are a lot of squirrels. There used to be more. There was a war on squirrels back in the late 1800s/early 1900s where they were such a pest we tried to eradicate them through various methods and had children massacring them and shit. My dad used to kill prairie dogs for dimes in the 1940s. As a teen, I had a caterer/hunting partner make me some stew that was delicious until he told me that it was raccoon and woodchuck. Didn't want any more, but it was good 60s. How far apart everything is, and how little is within walking distance. Location dependent, but I moved to a suburb in the Midwest as a kid and everything was so far away. Without access to a car, and without reliable public transportation, it was pretty much impossible to get to a friend's house, unless they lived on your street or something, or go anywhere fun as a kid without relying on parents for a ride. Maybe things are different now with Uber and whatnot, but back then it felt pretty isolating. That's why the 80s look in Stranger Things aesthetic of a group of kids on bikes is so prevalent. For a lot of folks it's the only way to do anything as a kid. Stranger Things bikes are completely on point. That is exactly how my friends and I got around the neighborhood every damn day for anything and everything. Edit. For those who knew me, this was the late 1980s-mid 1990s. Cheese so orange it looks like it was made by Fisher-Price. But did you have American cheese? It's processed cheese made from a blend of milk fats and solids, with other fats and whey protein concentrate. Also with orange coloring added. American cheese is a real type of cheese though. You are thinking of Kraft singles and its many clones, which imitate real cheese, specifically American cheese. The amount of commercial breaks in a TV show. I find American TV to be unwatchable honestly. The cycle just breaks my brain. 3 minutes content, 1 minute cliffhanger, 2 minutes advertisement, 1 minute recap, rinse and repeat. Makes me feel like a hamster on amphetamines after 5 minutes. I find it crazy how they will introduce the show, run the credits, and then ad break. The show hasn't even really started yet. That's why television is dying and everything is going to streaming services. I don't know anybody who watches anything but sports on live TV. Canadian here. I was blown away by how weirdly social people are with strangers. Like some random guy I've never seen before just starts telling me his life story on the street. He is super normal and doesn't seem crazy, just wants to talk to me for some reason. But then also, the dude at Wendy's is loudly threatening some 16-year-old cashier in front of like 45 people. I got the impression the Wendy's guy was uncool, but the other guy seemed normal, and where I live I generally assume that a stranger talking to me for no reason is either crazy or high. So this is a Wendy's. Understandable, have a great day. Canuck here. Ads on TV for medication. Billboard ads for lawyers. Ads for hospitals. TV ad for lawyers as well was there recently, and an ad for a lawyer specializing in molestation cases came on. Have you been touched by a priest or your uncle? Call us today. Wait, what? Maybe 911 would be a good start. I don't think crashing a plane into buildings is the answer here. I live in the south, and one time I was hanging out with a friend smoking by a lake in late spring/early summer. He was Egyptian and had just moved here over the winter. All of a sudden he freaked out saying he was seeing weird lights in the trees. I thought he was too high or something before I realized he meant the lightning bugs. He'd never seen them and didn't know what they were, so I started catching them and he was mind blown that they were just a normal seasonal thing. I cannot stop laughing at this. Picturing two high people trying to figure out lightning bugs is fucking hilarious. They're such a normal part of my life that I've never thought about someone having never seen them. Thanks for the laugh. I've lived my life in the Northwest. It's probably because of the cold, but I've never seen a lightning bug. I had to go to Yatab to see them. American here. One huge difference I noticed being in Germany was that our toilets are puny and wimpy. The first time I flushed a toilet there it sounded like a jet engine, and I swear the air pressure dropped in the room. That is a proper toilet. In Japan, we have streams of water that go up your fucking asshole. After visiting Japan I have to think they are disgusted by the rest of the shit smeared butt wiping world. You don't put tax on your prices. Why? The amount of times I counted it the exact amount it said something would cost, only to get to the register and get told that it's actually more. This was the most annoying thing for me. Go to a restaurant, order a $12 meal that actually ends up costing $20 because of secret taxes and tips. Pretty much every county and city has a different tax rate. Makes hard for any chain that has more than a few locations to do it. In a world where computers exist and many stores are constantly updating/adjusting their prices anyways, sometimes on the fly with handheld networked price tag printers, this excuse doesn't really fly anymore except for some smaller regional discount chains or independent stores. This comes up every time this question is asked, but for me, it's the shoes indoors. I can't get over it, and I feel uncomfortable in people's homes in my shoes. They let you use their bathroom and insist you wear your shoes that you were just wearing outside. They will eventually step and they're in bare feet. Why? Edit. Experiencing k/tx/gas/fl. I don't understand this one either. I grew up with a mother who would not allow shoes on in the house under any circumstances. It feels weird for me to go to someone's house and keep my shoes on. I can't do it. I bring a pair of Walmart slippers with me to this one couple/friend's home. I should just leave them there. I really don't understand people putting their feet on anything other than the ground with their shoes on. Beds, sofas, desks, etc. I had a friend in my car and he casually put his shoes on my dashboard. Why the fuck is your bread sweet? We don't know either. Because of the Great Depression, some enterprising individual decided to put essential vitamins and minerals in bread, but that was basically dirt flavoring, so they covered it up with extra sugar, and 70 years later, here we are. It's crazy how conventions can change from times like that. Not me, but my cousins who had lived in Kuwait and Australia for many years came to visit my family back in Texas, and laughed at how we said y'all. People used to make fun when Southerners said that. Now people are saying that all over the world. I was watching a vid from some London vlogger and he said yow, I clutched my pearls. Bless his heart. It's a useful contraction. I'm born and raised in Seattle, about as far as you can get from Moreland, but I find myself using it more and more. The South has been using an all-inclusive gender-neutral term longer than anyone without even realizing it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for I upload daily and suggest what subreddit I should cover next. Thank you and happy travels.